Good morning students. My name is Akash Tiwari and I welcome you all in today's class. Today we are seeing the chapter known as Is Matter Around Us Pure? This chapter is of Science class 9, which is chapter number 2. In previous classes we have seen various topics, that is about matter, its types. Then we saw what is solute, solvent. We solved some of its questions. Then in today's class we are going to see different type of solutions and its classification based on which will be based on the types of the particles. Okay, and so we are going to differentiate or classify various types of solution depending upon the size of their particles. Different size of particles will have different type of solutions that we are going to see in today's class. So let's start. So in today's class we are going to see three types of solution, which are solution, colloidal solution, or we say solution as true solution also. So solution, colloidal solution and suspension. So today we are going to cover three topics. So let's start with the solution. If we see that solution is a homogeneous mixture. Now I have told these terms approximately 2 to 3 times in the previous lectures, so it's better that you go and check the topics, the previous topics which I had just uploaded few days back. Just go and see it. There you will know what is homogeneous mixture, what is heterogeneous mixture. So in today we will going to just see about it. So if you talk about homogeneous mixture, that is nothing but this mixture have uniform composition, or the mixture is made up of different type of substances or particles. If these substances have different type of particles, when they are added together, they will show a uniform composition. What is uniform composition? That if you observe from any side, if you observe from top, you will see that it is a solution of water. If you will observe from the front, you will see that it is a solution of water. So that is nothing but a solution of water. Okay, and it will be seen uniform. Uniform means same. From which angle? From, if you will see from front, if you will see from top, wherever you will observe it, you will get a uniform composition. Okay, so that's why solutions are homogeneous mixture. So they consist of homogeneous mixture. What are colloidal? Colloidals are heterogeneous mixture. Actually, they show particles as some of its features are of homogeneous. When you are going to see heterogeneous, for example, milk. If you are going to see the milk, colloidal solution example is milk. So if you are going to see the milk, you will observe that if you are going to see milk from any side, from up or down, you will see a uniform composition. It means that colloidal solution may also be homogeneous mixture. So, but when we see the further classification or further division, then we came to know that no, colloidal solution are not homogeneous, but it is a heterogeneous mixture. Okay, let's see suspension. Suspension are heterogeneous mixture. Best example of suspension is mud water. That is mud plus water. If you are going to fill going to take water, and if you will pour some mud, what will happen? Mud is going to get settled down in the bottom and water will be in the upside. So is it a uniform composition? Is it a uniform? No, it is not a uniform, because when you are observing it from the front, you will see that one layer is of water, other layer is of mud. Similarly, when you are seeing from the top, you are not going to get uniform composition. When you are seeing from the top, you will get that here upper layer is of water, the lower layer is of mud. That means it do not have uniform composition, so it is a heterogeneous mixture. Okay, I think this might be clear now. So moving further, let's see another classification, that is size of the particles. If we see about the solution, normally the particles of the solutions are very small because they are getting dissolved in the solution. For example, when we are seeing the salt solution or the sugar solution, we pour some salt in the water and we stir it. What do we observe? That the salt get dissolved in it. Are you able to see the salt? No, that is not possible. So that's why the size of the particles are very small of the solution. That's why you are not able to see it. Then what is the size? That is 0.1 to 1 nanometer. Nano means 10 to the power minus 9. Nanometer means 10 to the power minus 9 meter. 10 power minus 9 means 0.0000000 and so much 0 and 1. Approximately 8 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 1. That is 9. So this is 10 power minus 9 meter. This much small size particles is 1 nanometer. Okay. So observing 1 nanometer, I don't think it is possible. And we have microscope. For example, we are saying that here we can see the particles with the microscope, but microscope is having range of 10 to the power minus 6 meter. Microscope is having range of 10 power minus 6. 10. So because it is 10 power minus 6, so that's why we call it a micro. Okay. If you are going to see the microscope, through microscope is of range 10 power minus 6 meter. And here the size of particle is 10 power minus 9 meter. I don't think that it is possible to see it through the microscope also. The particles are so small inside. If we will see colloidal, that is of the size 1 nanometer to 10 power minus 7 meter. This can be seen by a microscope. If you are going to take the powerful microscope, then you can increase the range of it. Then you can see if you increase the range, you may see up to 10 power minus 7 meter. 10 power minus 7 meter through powerful microscope. Nowadays we have advanced microscope. We can get powerful microscope, so it is possible to see colloidal solution. And suspension. If you talk about suspension, it is nearly 1000 nanometer. That is approximately 10 power minus 6 meter. And we can see it from the eyes. We can see with our eyes the particles. Of course, the mud, or when they get settled down at the bottom, we can see the mud water. Okay, that is visible. Okay. Next, moving further. That how can we see it? Cannot be seen with the powerful microscope, which is solution. It means solution cannot be seen by using a powerful microscope. Then only I have told you that it is of the range 10 power minus 9 meter, so that is not possible to see. So if we talk about colloidal solution, can be seen with the powerful microscope. Just here I have told you, because microscope is of the range 10 power minus 6. If we take the powerful microscope, then we can see up to the range of 10 power minus 7 meter. It is possible. Okay. So we can see. If we talk about suspension, that is nearly 1000 nanometer. Particles are small inside, so we can see it with our eyes. Okay. Next, cannot be separated by passing filter paper. Let's talk about its separation. How can we separate the two particles? So it cannot be separated by passing through the filter paper. Particles are so small that if you are going to add it to the filter paper, then it is going, because particles is so much small that it is going to pass through it. Okay, so we cannot separate the water with the salt or sugar because particles are very small, they get mixed in it, so it is not possible to pass through. Okay, so it can easily get passed through it, so without stopping. So filter paper cannot be used to separate the mixture of sugar and water. Okay, we cannot separate it. Can pass through the filter paper. If you are taking solution, colloidal solution, if you are taking milk, or if you are going to take blood, then you can very easily pass it through the filter paper and we can separate it. Okay. Suspension can be separated through the filter paper. By using the filter paper, we can easily separate the suspension particles, because when we are going to take the mud water, and when we are going to pass through it through the filter paper, what the filter paper is going to do, it is going to collect the mud in and get stick on the filter paper, and they do not allow to pass through it. Okay, so water get passes from the filter paper and mud get sticks on the filter paper, so they do not get passed through, so they can be separated by using the filter paper. Suspension can be separated. Now let's see, moving further, cannot show Tyndall effect. Cannot show Tyndall effect. Very important terms. We are going to discuss in the further topic. Here you can see we are having the explanation. But recently, just remember what is. Just remember this word, Tyndall effect. We are going to discuss further. They do not show Tyndall effect. They show Tyndall effect, may or may not. Suspension may show Tyndall effect or may not show, because the size of particles are so very small. So they may show or may not show. That is not show, depending. Different particles shows different type of feature. So that's why it is written that may show or may not be show. So that is not being decided. Okay. Moving further, let's see. Now what here is being written, dispersed phase. So what is a dispersed phase? We talked in the previous class, we talked about solute and solvent. Okay, we saw that solute where the smallest particles, smallest number that we are taking, a smallest quantity we are taking in a solution. For example, if we are taking salt and water, so we are taking salt in very small quantity and we are taking water in large quantity. So the component of the substances which are in a small quantity was solute, and the component which was in large quantity was solvent. Similarly, here we are going to see two terms, dispersed phase and dispersed medium. Okay. What are these? What are the dispersed phase and dispersed medium? Like a solute and solvent was in the solution, it was in the solution. So if we talk about in the terms of colloidal solution, then we are going to get dispersed phase. What is dispersed phase? This is nothing but the solute. This is your solute. In easy terms, if we are going to say this is your solute. Okay, just remember it. This is your solute and this dispersion medium is your solvent. Okay. Term might be confusing. What is the definition? In colloids, the particles are suspended in the solution. Suspended means in Hindi we say डूबा हुआ. The particles are being डूबा हुआ inside the solution. Okay, means it is deep inside the solution. So the particles are suspended in solution. Of course, they are taken in small quantity, so they are dispersed phase. What are the dispersion medium? In colloids, the solvent in which the particles are suspended. So what are dispersed medium? These are the solvent. These are the solute. They are taken in smaller quantity. They are taken in the larger quantity. They are going to dip or dissolve in this. Means dispersed phase is going to get dissolved into dispersion medium. Okay. Let's see. There are few types of colloids which we are going to see. There are many type of colloids, but mainly we have taken 3 so that you can understand it. Dispersed phase, dispersion medium, type and example. Let's see about the dispersed phase. Here we are taking solid, and this solid in dispersion medium. What is dispersed phase? Solute. The substance which we are going to dip in the solvent, it is your dispersed phase. What is dispersion medium? That is liquid, okay, in which we are going to add the solute, okay. Type, it is of the type sol. Example, mud. What is, of course you know mud. When we are adding mud to the water, you are going to get mud water. And this mud water in the terms we are saying it sol, okay. Just remember this one. When we are adding liquid to the liquid, it means two liquid are getting mixed with each other, so they form emulsion. Example, milk. You are knowing what is milk made up of? That is made up of water. Okay. First the water is being there, then various types of substances like fats and various other substances are being added. So liquid is being added to the liquid. We get milk. That is emulsion. Gas is being added to liquid. When a gas is being added to liquid, they form foam. The best example is shaving cream. The shaving cream which you are using or the foam which you are using at your home, that is your best example of this liquid and gas and liquid. So that type of colloid. Okay. Third class, let's see very important term of today, that is Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? Scattering of light by colloidal particles due to which the path of light is visible. Best example, take a milk, okay. After taking milk, just take a torch. Of course, take milk in a transparent glass. Glass that is made up of glass, okay. That should be transparent so that you can see, you can observe it from any side. Take the milk in the solution, milk in the glass. This is your torch. Pass the light of the torch through the glass. What you will see, that inside the milk, the particles you can see the light is getting passed away. You are going to get the light. This is your glass. You are going to see the light is getting out. Okay, you can see that means the light is being passing through this glass container. So what is happening here, that light, because you know colloidal particles are the small, some big type of particles, little bit of big particles. So when the light is getting passed through it, they are getting scattering around it. Let me show you with the diagram. Let me try to explain you. This is the solution. We are taking the torch. This is giving light. Okay. This is your solution. When the rays of light is being struck or strike by the in colloidal particle, in colloidal solution you have colloidal particles, different type of particles are present. When ray of light strike this particle, they get scattered or they change their path. Okay, inside they are changing their path. Because of the change of the path, they are getting scatter around it. See, this when they are striking with the particles, they change their path. What is changing the path? That is light. Light is changing path inside the solution. Okay. That's why the rays of light are getting scattered. This is only known as scatter. So rays of light are getting scattered, because of which you can see the light passing out, or you can see the rays of light are getting out of it. Okay. So this topic is very much important. Try to learn this topic. Okay. This was all about in today's class. In further, now in the next class we are going to see the separation techniques, different type of separation techniques, how we can separate the different type of components by using the different type of physical methods. Okay, that we are going to continue in the next class. So that was all about today. Thank you.